On this episode of Chicago Beer Pass, Nick and I are drinking some Lite Thinking from Pollyanna as we recap our Bourbon County Stout tasting reviews and then go over the winners from GABF. All that and more on this week's episode. Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler. It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
We survived Bourbon County.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I listened to the Bourbon County app, and
Yeah.
it's a little zany. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little wacky.
Oh, it is? I don't. That was our first tasting of it, so I had zero idea what these beers were gonna taste like.
Yeah.
So did you, and so I was like all off the cuff.
It was fun though. I think all we can do is talk about how it makes us feel, right? And that's it.
We didn't know the stories. We're not making the beer. We're just consuming it.
Yeah. This is from the heart. This is from the soul.
Yeah.
Right? This is soul music right here. I just dropped something.
No.
Oh, no. All right, cool.
So if you missed that, go back and check it out. Everyone has this up a Bourbon County thing in Chicago, media-wise. Tribune has it up. Porch Drinking has it up. I think Josh Riley's got his up, probably.
The old boy, Josh Riley.
Yeah.
We were having a chat because I saw Josh like the next day because he was coming up to get his Rev beer. And I was like, man, have you heard this thing about how, some people are decanting stouts and, it's supposed to change the flavor for the better? And he's like, man, that only works with wine, man, because beer needs carbonation, man.
Right.
I'm like,
It's going to change the flavor. It's going to make it flat.
I tell you, man, on the Bourbon County side, birthday bourbon was fine, but it wasn't like nothing to get excited about.
Okay.
But I tell you, after 3 days, I think my opinion on Kentucky Fog changed and my opinion on Birthday changed. And those are in my top. I think my top three now are Weller, Birthday, and Kentucky Fog, and it surprised me.
What? All from bottom to the top?
I'm trying to tell you, man. All it took was drinking it for 3 days. And I'm like, you know what, this fog, man.
Because if I'm remembering our episode, we had Weller, OG, Birthday as our top three.
I think OG turned into the mixed berry thing in Birthday was gone, and it was just richer and fuller. And then OG started to taste the way berry tasted, the Birthday tasted. So I moved OG to the back, and Carmela stayed in the back.
Okay, yeah.
But I think, I think that's my order now. Weller, Birthday, and Fog. It blew me. I couldn't believe it.
I think we had Fog at the back, and you say Carmela at the back. When I was talking to someone, they're like, oh, what about Carmela? I was like, I forgot about that one. So that one probably, in hindsight, should have been in the back, because I don't even remember what it tasted like.
Yeah, I think over time, I think the coffee in special number 4 wasn't as appealing over 3 days as the dessert specialty, the Italian dessert specialty of Prop was.
Okay.
And I had those switched at first too. So I think a lot of my order changed.
Nice. Okay.
Over 3 days. So, and that's an interest for science. We did this for science. We drank Bourbon County.
It's all for science.
Nonstop for 36 hours to see how it changed. But yeah, but Weller's unstoppable. That fucking beer did not change.
Right.
It's the best one.
And we found out from the call, which we didn't mention on the podcast, but you, I think, tweeted out, anniversary and birthday will just be packaged. And will mainly be Chicago and Kentucky and maybe other, like, a few other small accounts. But it's going to be mostly local.
Yeah, it's like that tradition they started with, I want to say the Elijah Craig. Whenever Elijah Craig won Whiskey of the Year a few years ago, where they got like these, or maybe it was the Knob Creek anniversary 11-year-old Those were back-to-back years. But anyway, one of those years, they started this Kentucky and Chicago only thing for one of their brands. So prop Chicago, and then it sounds like this one, the what do we say? Oh, the
Birthday.
the top two,
Yeah,
the Weller
birthday and anniversary.
birthday and anniversary. Yeah, but that was fun. I mean, I think it was a good call to do our show, then do the tasting. That was cool. That was a good call.
Yeah, we may have been drunk, and our opinions may have been adjusted by what we knew. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I think listening to that episode, I'm like, nah, this is really what this all felt like. So you gotta let that ride. So, but it was good. I'm glad we did that.
So then, that was some big stouts on the last episode. So we're going light today.
I'm with you, man.
Some light thinking. Pollyanna's back-to-back medal winner at GABF.
Back to back.
And we're gonna go over those awards here in a second. But I should mention, I picked this up from Pollyanna, and I also had a beer there. This was my first beer at a place since March. I was basically the only person on the patio. It was the previous weekend, so it was pretty nice out. And it was the most stressful beer I ever had, because I'm thinking, this is really stupid. We're rising in cases. I'm putting my life at risk just to have this beer outside. But I also had to use the bathroom, so that was I was like, I guess I could buy stuff and then use the bathroom, but I'm here.
What's your normal setup when you're rolling the places? Do you have a little little mobile hand sandy thing on
I
you?
do have a little one, and there's one in the car.
Okay.
But so I used it when I got back to the car, and I went to the bathroom and washed my hands before and after. But it was just the whole time I'm like, this beer's really nice, and it is good. We're drinking it now, but it was worrisome. But no one else was around me, so when I didn't think about it, it just kind of felt normal.
Yeah.
Reading stuff on my phone, drinking the beer outside.
That's a good experience, though.
Yeah.
And now, I think that's it. You're done for the year.
That's over, yeah.
Yeah.
So I did it. I
I know what you mean. Yeah. I was at Off Color's the only draft I've had, and I'm just like, this is cool, but all the other things that could go wrong are in your head while so you're going back and forth. Man, this is great. It reminds me of all these things I used to do. At the same time, you're like, oh well, this could go wrong. Should I be here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad I was outside, and I was, like I said, I was pretty much the only person on the patio. So it felt very low risk, because I got there right when they opened at noon. And so it was, I wouldn't have sat at the bar if that would have been my option. If they didn't have their patio open and it was just like, oh yeah, we can sit at the bar, I'm buying stuff and leaving. But sitting outside.
So you're out at, I want to say they got 2 locations.
I think they got 4.
Wow.
I was at I want to say Lamont one.
Which is like the strip mall, right?
Oh, then I wasn't at that one. I was one by the train tracks. Roselle?
Yeah, that's the other one. Those are the 2 I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's right off the train
I want
tracks.
to say Roselle's the newer one.
Okay.
They threw a hell of a party in that it's not a little strip mall, but in Lamont, I think it's the closest thing to Two Brothers, if you're coming back.
Okay.
That I had never been to. And it was a party and a half. It was like a summertime thing. I have no idea what it was for. But it's in their entire mall was partying with them. So there's there's a couple thousand people in this fucking parking lot. Man, this is something.
The Roselle one was nice. It has a big parking lot, big patio area. So they had a tent out there in the parking lot for spillover and the patio. So it was pretty good.
Good for them, man. Lite Thinking, 2019 gold, and then they came back and won again this year.
Yeah, we won a bronze this year though.
Okay, right on.
So, not back-to-back gold, but
But shit, they're placing twice, and if you look at the list from last year, I don't think anybody else placed twice. Well, Light the Lamp, and Pollyanna are the only crews that placed. Oh, and Penrose and Penrose.
Alarmus.
Wait,
Yeah.
So I take that all back.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The winners stay winners. Let's dive into that. Let's go over the list. The awards happened 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah.
And Chicago didn't take home as many this time.
No, I think it was 10 in 2019, and this year I think that's down to 6.
Okay.
And that's
So what do we got? We got, you said the bronze for American light lager went to Pollyanna.
yeah, this is kind of their take on like Lite Thinking, LITE, just like the big light beer.
Yeah.
Light the Lamp, again. They got a bronze for American Belgo style, something called Still Single.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we recently, I put up the video on the YouTube channel of us drinking the Well Watcher one from them. I believe Shalonda was with us. We had that. That was tasty.
Light the Lamp last year was a session beer called Light It. So this was Light the Lamp is in Grays Lake, which is like a border town. It's up near like Great America, Gurnee, and all that jazz. Yeah. So good job by them, back to back. Pantsless, alarmist. I actually walked into the studio today drinking a pantsless American
Nick
Pale
came
Ale.
in pantsless.
I remember we had the show there, and then we went back, and they had a Crystal Hop pantsless on cask.
Okay.
And I think we were talking about, because the first time I had pantsless 5 years ago or whatever, it was a totally different recipe.
Yeah, it was a little. They changed it up.
Yeah. And I think it kind of was reminiscent a little bit, not in look, but it kind of reminded you, hop flavor wise, kind of reminds you a little bit of Alpha King. Those, some of those, cool new cool kid hops, but then also like some classic bittering hops.
Yeah.
Too.
How's it tasting now?
It's like it's different from that day. That day it was a juicy cask offering.
Okay.
But today it's like a proper, clean, like clear pale ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of soft, clean, fruity pale ale.
Yeah, and so that's great for them because they won. The Juice took home the gold, or no? Yeah, the gold.
Probably a couple years ago now.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Did they win anything last year?
No, because remember, Old Irving took it in that same category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't win. Didn't they win something last year or no?
Let's pull it up. 2019. Let's see.
I feel like there was something there, but
Not last year. So
Okay.
their 2 wins are Le Juice,
Juice.
and that's 2018, and then
pantsless.
Pantsless in 2020.
And that was the bronze.
Yeah, bronze and American style pale ale.
That's pretty good. All right. What else we got? We got Penrose. Now this is a back-to-back like beer win, just like the Light Thinking.
Yeah. How about that, man?
Goofy Boots, right?
Yeah. Tom Quarter and the good folks out in Geneva at Penrose. He kind of kicked off he was one of our earlier guests during the whole quarantine series. Goofy Boots, juicy or hazy strong pale ale for Goofy Boots.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Is that the gold? That's got to be the gold.
He won gold for that?
That looks like the gold. Because these other ones all look bronze.
I didn't think it was gold, but maybe it was. Because last time it was the...
All right, so check it out. Everything else has a different color.
That looks like the gold.
That looks like the gold.
What did Goofy Boots win last year? Or was it the... might have been the bronze then.
Penrose took bronze last year.
Okay, so they went bronze to gold. Light Thinking went gold to bronze. All right.
Good job by Tom Quarter, man.
That's awesome. That beer is great.
It's been a while for me. I'm excited for him.
I almost, when I picked this up, I looked at my map. I was like, how far is Penrose? Am I going? I wanted some Goofy Boots, but...
I mean, you're already out there. But you're not.
I'm not out there.
You're not out there. Yeah, you're just out there. Man, Midwest Coast Brewing.
This was a cool win.
Yeah. ESB, English Sporting Beer.
Sporting beer?
I like that's the name of the beer.
That's English Special Bitter.
That's what it is. That's the
Oh,
style.
that's what they're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the style is extra special bitter.
Oh, okay.
Which is such a confusing style name.
Yeah.
Because it's
not very bitter.
Yeah, it's like a brown. It's a complex 4.5% English brown ale.
With maybe a bite. Right?
But good job by him. I remember. So we went there over the summer. This was last summer, right? And he was talking about how they're building out the train to stop right there because he's not far from United Center.
Yeah.
So the Green Line, they're talking about building a Damon stop right there, and how his place is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And then he only had like a handful of beers, right? He only had like 3 or 4 beers, I want to say.
And I've gone back 2 other times since we've gone.
Yeah.
One time it was packed, one time it wasn't. I wonder if they're going to build out that green line now. Depends on what happens with sporting events in the United Center. But
And one of the beers that he had was the ESB.
yeah.
And it was fucking fantastic. And we're like, I think during the show, we're like, well, damn, how come there's no more ESBs around town? Especially because I don't know what the deal is with Honker's Ale. If they make it here or they moved it or they made it out of state and they moved it back. Either way, that was like one of the only ones. Like the only local ESB. It was such a bizarre thing.
And now I saw a Good Beer Hunting Michael Kaiser tweet. He had cans of Midwest Coast. Midwest Coast is in cans. So we've had growlers and crawlers on the show. So I may swing by there and see what this can situation is.
That's a good call. ESB's fun. I remember when Goose had their 25th anniversary, it was an imperial version of Honker's Ale.
Oh.
And they were saying how it's kind of a pain in the ass to make because their ESB was like 7 different hops, 4 different grains, and all these different addition times. But that's what made it cool when you tasted it, you know. So I think ESB is probably a little effort to make, but which is probably why a lot of people don't make it.
Yeah, okay.
But anywho, good job by this guy. Fucking bronze medal for English sporting beer.
That's cool. And first year, right? This
Yeah,
is
in his first year.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen a whole lot. Horse Thief Hollow, International Pilsner for Little Wing.
Okay.
Now, I think Little Wing is the beer they offer you when, because you know that's in deep south side, like
It's over there by Open Outcry.
yeah, like 110
Rainbow Cone.
over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know I wouldn't necessarily say that's like a craft centric strip, but when people come in and ask for something, what do you got? What's the closest thing you got to a Bud or a Miller?
Little Wing?
They hit them with the Little Wing.
Okay. What style is it?
It's an International Pilsener.
International Pilsener. Okay.
I'm just reading the words, man.
Okay, all right.
No, we talked about Goofy Boots. That's the last one. Juicy or hazy strong pale. My only complaint about this app is that I'd like to know offhand how many entries were in each category.
Okay. I feel like the top, or the main one, says that at the top, but that's cool. Some nice medal wins from Chicago or Chicagoland area. We didn't see anything from. Oh, you know what was the surprise that I want to mention? That did you see who took home the gold for Hayes?
No, I don't think so.
Of course.
Hmm?
Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a Blue Moon Haze, or it was Blue Moon Brewing, wasn't it?
That's probably in Colorado, so we'll just go to them for 2020.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Was it Blue Moon Brewing or was it Coors that took out? They kind of get to submit under different umbrellas.
Oh, yeah. Moon Haze by the Blue Moon Brewing Company was gold in the juicy or hazy pale category.
So basically, Blue Moon won.
That's the alarmist. Is that the alarmist category?
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's like mind blowing. So the original, one of our original mainstream hazes, that is Blue Moon,
Yeah.
now has taken home the gold. That's ridiculous and hilarious at the same time. I don't know.
Should we really be surprised? I mean, you hit on something important there. That they've been making haze.
We just haven't called it
You know,
haze.
they've been making haze. That's funny. But good job by them. I remember hanging out with we took the show to Miller Coors.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to Lisa Zimmer, and I think she was saying like, I forgot what we drank that day, but she was saying like, you know, craft beer people should be happy that crews like Miller Coors don't make craft, because if they did, there would be a shortage on all these raw ingredients.
Yeah.
Because they make so much beer, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking to someone that was a tea producer, and they're like, "Yeah, these teas have to be small. Like, if we were a giant tea company, there's not enough like dandelions to go around or chamomile. Like, it's not produced like on a large scale for consumption." So.
Yeah. So that's cool. You know, I actually forgot about GABF, man. And then I started seeing it on beer Twitter, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah.
It always brings back memories, you know.
It was going by really fast though, because there's no time for people coming to take awards, get their pictures, and just like announcement. It felt like FOBAB announcements, like go, go.
And this was, the award ceremony really is the crowning jewel of that whole week. Well, there's the parties. The parties are, basically everything's better than actual GABF festival. The award ceremony is usually, Saturday morning at like 11 a.m. and everyone's hammered. They're handing out breakfast sandwiches. You go in there and you get to just see everybody completely trashed from this week of binging in Denver. And then they win these awards and it's like this hungover joy right, for like an hour. And all these emotions. It's so cool. It's a cool scene.
Yeah.
It's like it's a proper awards show. Yeah, in an auditorium.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
Nice. All right, so we have Bourbon County reflections, GABF. What else we got happening? We got new restrictions here in Illinois and Chicago.
I think indoor dining and drinking is done. Right?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think their Lightfoot is pushing back on the indoor dining in Chicago, but
Embrace the police state. I mean, strip clubs. This is what I saw, of this. A restaurant distributor wrote a letter to the governor, and he was like, I don't know if he included strip clubs, but he's like, you let these other retail outlets, whether it's nail or hair salons or grocery stores or anyway, no one else is restricted. No other customer-facing businesses are restricted by this indoor policy outside of restaurants, and they felt like they're being singled out.
okay.
And I can empathize with that. If I put all my chips on the table and I can't fucking do my thing, but other people who serve customers don't have restrictions, that would offend me.
Right, I can go into Old Navy with little restrictions, right?
These pumpkin patches, let me tell you.
Right, yeah.
I was on a call during the day with like a coworker, and she's like, yo, let me tell you about this fucking pumpkin patch. Like, dude, this is green light go. Like, they are not stopping people from going to these pumpkin patches. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you're a restaurant owner, what's the difference,
Yeah, I understand the restaurants also, and a lot of the bars have to go through a lot of just things to be safe in general. So are they the vector for spreading it? Not necessarily, but they are a reason people go out. So if they're not open, you don't go out as much.
This sucks, man. Curbside for food, even if it's your favorite joint, it just ain't the same, And it sucks. This whole thing kind of sucks.
And I saw Orland Park mayor said, we're not enforcing Pritzker's thing. That's the other thing. Like, who enforces this?
Yeah.
Especially in Chicago, where if Lightfoot wants to push back or not, the cops don't like her. Do the police enforce this? The police don't wear masks.
Police don't wear masks, and a lot of places police get discounts on fucking food.
Right. So
what's their incentive to enforce?
They have no reason to stop a restaurant or bar from. And then what are the food? Who are the people that give the grades or shut people down? There's not enough of them. You get inspected once a year. I've heard people say that's at the most. There's enough to inspect every restaurant in Chicago maybe once a year.
I'm not the biggest fan of Lori Lightfoot. I'm not the biggest fan of embracing the police state. If you don't say something about people partying and hanging out in groups, they're gonna fucking party. And we talked about this before. So I'm not that but then again, I'm not a restaurant owner. So I'm speaking from that perspective.
Yeah, we never got the beaches open all summer. But all these restaurants, I get there's, she's probably looking at it as if we shut these restaurants down, there's no money. That's we can tax people as much as we want to go to restaurants.
And dude, what about people that are being super safe, man? I haven't experienced it, but I've seen you go by dine-in places and they've got the little, the little digital thermometer, right? They're trying their hardest at gloves and wiping down tables and spreading tables out, and they're actually trying,
Right. There's a lot of places that are doing a better job than some of the places. There are other people ruining it for everyone. It's a bad. I'm not going to a place. I know I'm not going to go sit at a restaurant and, like, there's too many other people. I think the restaurants are being good. It's everyone who's at the restaurant that I'm worried about. Like, I'm not worried about the restaurant infecting me. I'm worried about, hey, what's that couple over there doing? Are they being safe?
We as consumers could do better.
Right.
Yeah. And then,
but because of these rules, Revolution is closing for the winter.
This is scary, man.
I think that's going to be a lot of restaurants in Chicago that if you can't operate inside, there is no outside. Like, no one's going to sit in a pod. Yeah. No one's going to sit with their jackets in 10-degree weather.
Rev's, well, the largest independent brewery in the city, it's a top 5 brewery no matter who owns them. Yeah. So that's pretty tough, right? Like, and that's on Milwaukee Avenue, right? So if they're having issues with keeping their place open, like Mustache Cafe, a couple doors down, what kind of problems do you think they're running into? Yeah. If this is Revolution we're talking about that's having these issues. I
drove by the Dark Matter over here by Kuma's, and they have a sign like one person in at a time. It's like, that space is giant. Yeah. And one person in at a time, like,
such a dope space too. That's the best looking one.
It's huge. It's set up for people to, like, hang out in there, to drink coffee. We have a lot of big spaces that we're like, we want a bigger space. We want more people in here. Oh shit, we can't have anyone.
There's got to be some kind of initiative to help. Whether it's there's a lot of spaces that are not being used, right? Whether it's pop-ups in towns not towns. If there's pop-ups in neighborhoods that have these event centers, right? Then if your local neighborhood's got an event centers not being used, every weekend do 4 or 5, almost like farmers market style. Yeah. Have 4 or 5 rotating businesses go in there and let them do their thing to help subsidize this. I mean, we should be more creative than, oh, fuck you, Brad, fuck your sandwich shop. It's a wrap. You can't have anyone in here. Like, that's not leadership, man. Not to be all,
I can,
not to get all political, but it's not, man.
I can understand some of these businesses breaking the law or breaking the rules, because it's not really a law, to do it because, no one's going to stop them. They're a business. They got to survive. It's tough.
When the smoke clears.
And no one's helping them, right? I think that's the biggest thing. Like, hey, shut down. What do you want? If I had a restaurant, I'd be like, cool, I'm down for shutting down. Pay me to, like, shut down. That's all right. No worries. If you pay me, everyone stays employed. Restaurant shuts down. Cool.
The death of tavern culture is real. And when the smoke settles, you're going to see these big box stores just come in and take over. And then Chicago's just a giant suburb.
Right? There's multiple stories about Culver's opening in different places around Chicago. I've never been to Culver's. I hear good things, but
it's not bad.
I don't want like a Culver's on every corner.
You know what? Culver's is good because I gotta go to the suburbs to get it. Okay, that's why it's good. I don't need a Culver's. I don't need a Culver's in the city limits.
All right, we don't want to rant about closings and openings when I'm not even going to them, so I don't really. I feel bad for people, but but support. Do carry out. Pick up beers to go.
For sure. Former guest on the show, Frank Lasandrello. He posted on his Facebook that
on his Motor Row or personal?
No, on his personal Facebook. That Motor Row was done. Like, Motor Row wasn't reopening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought I was dreaming this, and I went back and looked for the post, and I didn't see it. I'm just like, fucking Facebook and their bullshit filters. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I saw this, and I'm like, man, that sucks, man. He was on the show, and I like Motor Row. We used to take the brew bus there. Yeah. It started at Lagunitas, then it went to Bader Brow and Motor Row. That was the first stop. That was the first romp for a long time.
That's rough. I don't know. That space is a historical location, so.
Yeah. They won an award from the city because they kept the historical elements, the historical integrity of it, but it was completely LEED certified and completely updated. So, yeah, the city recognized them for that. 3-level spot. It was kind of the anchor of because that's not exactly South Loop anymore. Yeah. I think it's actually Motor Row. Okay. Where, like, the Chess Records was down there, and It's right by the McCormick Place, and I think it was home to like a ton of car dealerships at one point.
Okay. So that's 3 now in Chicago, right? Argus, Band of Bohemia, and Motor Row.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, man. Yeah. So Godspeed to the good folks at Motor Row Brewing. They were brewing. We said this, I think. They were brewing Geno's East. They were brewing the lager for Geno's East.
Yeah, that. Oh yeah, and Geno's East.
And Geno's East.
Shutdown. So yeah, so 4. Even though no one went to Geno's East, we're the only people that knew it was a brewery.
Right? People at Geno's East were like, "Wait, you guys make beer?" That's probably true.
We got pizza. No, I'll have a beer. No, pizza. Oh, that's sad. That's I don't think it'll be the last. So.
It's gonna be a long winter, man.
Yeah.
Long winter. The economy's failing, Brad. You know, there's no other way. There's no way around it.
I guess we don't make any money with this podcast. So.
You're gonna see a lot more podcasts pop up.
The last thing, you had some microphone stuff, right?
Yeah, Brown Paper Tickets decided to, give me the stiff one and not give me my money back for the it smells like a canceled beer fest.
Okay.
But Microphone was offering the beer in a 2-pack and the coolest little fucking cocktail glasses, like that said smells like a canceled beer fest. They made a beer for the cancellation.
Yeah.
So I went and got a 2-pack of those. Yeah, I think it was like a chocolate stout with like vanilla or something in it, and yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I like Microphone, but I didn't like this beer. In fact, it was kind of like this adjunct stout, and I think they're one of the better adjunct stout crews out there, right? Because that's kind of what they hang their hat on, right? Because most of their items are like that. Like, let's just make an amped up. Oh, we got a Goza. Let's throw some lemon cheesecake in the Goza. That kind of thing, right? That's all. That's all.
That's a thing.
That's a big chunk of what they do. But I was just mad that this beer was kind of like, it was just noise, and it's inserted into all these other kind of overtly sweet without being a real expression of anything cool kind of stouts that we've had over the last 12 months. It actually made OG BCS kind of like this destination almost when we had it. Remember, like a week ago? So, and that pissed me off because I'm like, well, this is like I'm not checking out Microphone stouts every week, and I like the Microphone crew, a lot. But I was like, well, this is the party stout, so let's fucking go. It's the fucking party stout.
It should be great.
Yeah. I was just mad. I wasn't fucking happy. Okay. Mm-hmm. God, I sound like a grumpy old man. But
I think that's something that's happening in all of the pastry stouts and hazes. If you're not having that, like the gold medal winner, basically, or the Bourbon County, and you just like, oh, this new one, you're always chasing it. You forget what it's supposed to taste like. You're just drinking the new one.
Yeah.
But hopefully that maybe with the pandemic cools off here, as people are like, well, I want a beer I can have 4 of at home, not one pastry stout and be like, that was good for a festival, but it's not good. It's more of that one. That's too bad. At least you got sweet glasses.
No, those glasses are so legit. Fantastic. And then you can drink just about any stout out of these.
Yeah. Cool. I think that might be all we have.
I think so. We were going to talk about Fobab a little bit. Fobab Reimagined.
Yeah, I believe you can still order your pick up your 6-pack variety pack. I have not been following any of the updates or anything, so I'm not totally sure what's happening, everything about it, or if there's any new changes. But you were picking them up at Sound Growler? No. At
Close.
Hailstorm.
Yes.
So you're picking up your beers at Hailstorm. You can get your glasses, whatever, all that good stuff in your mixed 6-pack.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit event. 100% of the proceeds are going to support the Craft Brewers Guild to protect and promote Illinois breweries. So 6-pack, you get a branded tote bag, a fancy Belgian glass, a T-shirt, branded face mask. Man, that sounds pretty good. And you get a mixed 6-pack.
Right.
Yeah. You don't get to decide what that 6-pack is.
No.
Because they know you're an asshole and you're going to cherry pick. And you're going to be like, give me third phase. Let me get benthic. Let me get let me get that Dark Lord chemtrail. Chemtrail only, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me get 6 chemtrails.
And then let me get some of this Lost Abbey shit that I can never purchase and throw in that what's that crew from LA? That one big last year, Bottle Logic. Oh. And I will have that, and I'm out. And everyone's gonna. If you give them a choice, that's what everyone's gonna do.
Yeah, no, you're getting the beers you didn't try at FOBAB mostly.
Yeah. You're about to get down with some of this Big Eddie. That's what you're gonna get.
Big Eddie's good.
It's fine. It's not bad. It's not what you would. It's not on the list. It's not what you would pick.
It's better than some of the things at FOBAB. It smells like a beer fest.
Yeah. Man, what's in this beer, man? I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? Because you know who's really killing it with those adjunct stouts, too. I think it's a Microphone and Phase 3.
Okay.
And Phase 3 is kind of like, Phase 3 won FOBAB one year. And then they finished second in FOBAB the next year with some of their stouts. So but it's like they're kind of always they throw the dart at the same spot every time on the board, right? There's not a lot of fluctuation if you tried 10 of their beers.
True, okay.
Which was noticeable as I'm drinking this fantastic, tall boy can out of this fantastic glass. It was a noticeable thing just based on the journey over the last year, that's all.
All right, let's get out of here. Nick, where can people find you, get in touch when we're not here?
Right on, man. I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
I'm on Twitter at BRAD, Chicago Beer Pass, Twitter, Instagram. I liked your little red picture the other day. That looked nice. The hop butcher, yeah. Nice little picture there.
Yeah, a new little chair.
Nice. Check us out there. New episodes going up all the time. We might be back next week if we all don't die after the election.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah.
I know. It's election week, so who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, man. Stay extra safe, man. It's just going to get weird.
And, drink beer, listen to the podcast. Take care.
Cheers.